This is CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video. What is up, everybody? I had this originally scheduled, and I don't know who removed my stream broadcast, but I'm not going to throw fingers, but I had that schedule, and it is what it is. So we're about to debate this discussion of the preview, and I just think this is one of those games, despite how Seattle won this game. We look at that game as like, hey, 99% of the people didn't expect them to win because they actually expected Denver to win that game. But Denver shot themselves in the foot, and that is another discussion for another day. So this has got nothing to do with the chip challenge, but okay. Nah, just the point of the thing. I tried it, and I don't know. Just want to see what the difference was, and I know next time I'm not going to do it again. So that's pretty much my mistake. I just thought maybe it'd be interesting to give it a try. Now I see why it's not good for everybody else. But I just want to get to the football topics, my dude. All right, so we're gonna definitely discuss the preview matchups from Niners and Seahawks and what makes it so interesting about this match. A lot of question marks. The Niners, even though they lost to the Bears, there was a lot of that question mark about the raining being a factor, the monsoon, the penalties, the inexperience. That's pretty much what the question marks are. Oh, they'll never be the same. I still feel numb, but yeah. But so that's pretty much what everybody's gonna say. But yeah. The rain did play a factor, but is the rain going to be a factor come this Sunday? A lot of people have been saying it's not going to rain, and then there's a lot of people that have the weather forecast, and then people are saying it's going to rain. Like, dude, I am just going by what I see on the weather forecast, so don't take it personal. Hopefully I'm wrong, dude. I am not a fucking meteorologist or whatever they fucking call it these days, bro. If it says it's going to rain under my fucking app, then it's going to fucking rain. If not, I hope it is what it is. I just don't like to get to an argument with everybody. But let's discuss a matchup. So Seattle, they definitely came away with a victory where nobody expected them to win. But what stood out to me about that game was Geno Smith played a solid game. He played a very good game. Like, he didn't put up the stats. He didn't put up like Russell Wilson put up. He put up like below 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. That's what you call a game manager. So what he did, he got the job done. But the thing that made it so easy for him was the Denver Broncos defense did not create enough pressure for this guy. He had a little bit of time on the pocket, and that's what made him manage the game. Rashad Penny, he definitely was a factor of the running game, but they used him 12 times on those carries. But he was very much a little of a factor. What's up, Corey Davis? What's up? So that's what makes it so intriguing. Are we going to see the same performance from Geno where he doesn't make the same, where he makes the same performance but plays a little bit better? By the looks of it, the Niners defense, despite the rain, they limit Justin Fields to like 121 yards. So I do expect Geno Smith to at least go from 195 to 155. And it's leaning towards an interception or two. He's going to have a pick or two. Maybe a touchdown pass, but maybe a couple of picks from that performance. But you look at that matchup, it is definitely going to be favorable for the Niners. Dude, this is a must win. There is no way in hell we're going to lose to Seattle, because if that's the case, this is pretty much the football gods having something against us, man. We got to win this game. What's up, Pale? What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. We'll see what happens. But, yeah. So this is what stands out about Seattle. Yeah, the secondary is pretty much the weakest link for Seattle. Doesn't matter who they got at cornerback. It doesn't matter who they have on their defensive line. But they got some guys who can step in and play. But the thing I've heard about is the Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams is pretty much ruled out for the rest of the season. So in the first half, Seattle's defense was doing a really good job when Jamal Adams was out there. But now that Jamal Adams is out for the season, which he's going to require some quad surgery, that is pretty much a little of a blow right there. Because the fact that what makes Jamal Adams so good at that position is he can blitz. Most safeties, they can be doing that too, but they're mostly good as coverage safeties. But what makes Jamal Adams so different than the rest of the guys on Seattle's defense is he gives you a intimidation factor. Like, he scares you. He gives you fear. He's going to hit you, and he's going to make some plays. So when you look at the fact that he's not going to play this Sunday, yeah. Yeah, I can't take it, man. It's because it's too much for me. But when you look at the matchup, they had the other safety. They had the other safety that's supposed to fill in. So they got some guys out there, but second half, they given up some yards and points during that game. So I think when you look at the Seahawks defense overall, they are a bend, don't break defense. Like, they'll give you the yards, no doubt. They'll give you the yards. They'll capitalize on turnovers, and they're going to play their hardest. But when you look at the entire... Oh, no, I said what's up, man. I said what's up. I'm just too focused on the previews right now. Hey, what's up, Grant Dizer? I didn't mean to, ignore you. I'm just trying to focus on a little bit of my preview right now. But, let's see. The matchup, man, see, I lost track of what I was going to say. Yeah, okay, yeah. Bend but don't break defense, yeah. They are a bend, don't break defense. They'll give you the yards, but they'll definitely give you some turnovers. So they're going to turn the ball over even if they give up 400 yards. Yeah, you love my fire. You love my energy. I get it, man. You love the fact that I was yelling. But, yeah, this defense is bend, don't break. Their secondary may be the suspect of the lead. They'll give you the yards. They'll have some penalties. But when you look at the Seattle's defense, dude, they just have the most given up yards in the NFL. Russell Wilson, despite him losing that game, he had over 360 yards. That is kind of like a suspect, bro. Like the fact that Seattle just couldn't get it done in the second half, but they still won because the Broncos were so stupid to kick a 64-yarder. Hey, what's up, KO Sports? What's up, Grandizer? Which I say, well, yeah. Are you saying that he's another me? Is he another me? Is that what you're saying? I'm telling you, these Packer fans get a little too cocky, man. I hope you guys win this bet. I'm hoping you guys win. That's what I'm hoping for. But so when you look at Seattle's offense, it's more of a, like, they'll get you, like, it's kind of like a three, like almost, what is it, like almost a 300-yard total offense, but they don't really give you something scary. like DK Metcalf. Like, he's going to be the guy that gets most of the targets. But Tyler Lockett, the performance on Sunday, I don't know if that's going to be favorable. I don't even know if I should even start Tyler Lockett because I see them targeting Metcalf. Metcalf is getting bulks of the loads. Like, he's getting a lot of the targets. And I don't understand why Geno is not even throwing to Tyler Lockett. Like, Lockett should get more of the damn targets. Like, this guy is consistent. The fact that this guy does not get any freaking targets over DK is a joke. Like, when you need a guy on third down, when you need a guy to make those big plays, and he can be reliable, sure-handed receiver, Tyler Lockett is your guy. DK Metcalf is your 50-50 speedy trick pony wide receiver. This guy, he's just one of those kind of rare talents, you know? He's got the speed. They compare him to Megatron. But I don't understand why they don't take their trust more on Lockett. I don't even know if I should even start Lockett this week because last week, I only got 5 freaking points off of Lockett that week. So, looking at the matchup, I'm expecting a little bit of a better performance from Lockett. I'm expecting at least the chemistry, but I don't think it's going to be convincing for me to even keep him in my lineup this week. So, as far as a unit, Seattle's offensive line, they look pretty impressive. When you look at the way they were blocking, like, okay, as an offensive line guru of myself, I like what I've seen from those tackles. Abraham Lucas, especially Abraham Lucas, that number 72 guy. I did a lot of looking on the film. Dude, I came away impressed. That Abraham Lucas dude is unbelievable. This is what I love about offensive linemen. This guy pushes people to the ground. This guy did a really good job. The other guy, Cross, he did okay. But that Abraham Lucas guy, I like him. Oh, my God, dude. Like, I can see why the Seahawks got this kid, bro. I'm just like saying this guy looks pretty good. And their center position, the interior line, it wasn't that bad. They did pretty damn good. They gave up 2 sacks. Denver just wasn't able to create the pressure. So this is where the difference is. The difference of this matchup is we're going to give them more pressure. We're going to give them more pressure than expected. So I'm not discrediting Seattle's offensive line. I do like that Lucas kid. That kid is good. I think he's going to be a baller. That Cross guy, he'll get better, but he's going to face some better defensive linemen. So that's where I'll give credit. But as far as their overall performance, let's not discredit Geno Smith's performance. Like, he did exactly what most quarterbacks should do, is manage to win games. But if it wasn't for Denver's boneheaded decision, dude, they would have been winless that day. But the fact that they won that game is a complete joke. And I'm not saying it to be disrespectful, but man, the Denver Broncos should feel ashamed of themselves. You guys were the favorites, and you decided to put the game on the line with a kicker when you should have just converted the 4th and 5, and you would have had the better chance to win the game. Why didn't you not just do this? Why didn't you call timeout? You killed so much time on the clock. That was the big mistake by the Broncos, was time management, and that's why Seattle won that game. So let's go on to the 49ers. So when we look at the matchup of what happened last week, the Niners were able to move the ball really good. It's just the turnovers is what killed this Niners offense. Like, Trey Lance, everybody's kind of like thinking he didn't do too good. When you look at the third down conversions, 50% of the conversions that he got were first downs, either by throwing the ball or either running the ball. And our running game was looking solid until Elijah Mitchell got injured, and then we started to mix it up with Deebo Samuel. So I don't feel like this offense is a concern like everybody else makes it seem like. Like, despite the raining, everybody's thinking that the rain played a factor. I still think even at that point, we were able to do pretty well at those drives. It's just that we caught the ball, we didn't capitalize, and it just is what it is. Yeah, he's still starting. Hey, Butterfly. He's still starting. So, yeah. So, when I look at the quarterback position, they're critical on Trey Lance. Like, pump the brakes on criticizing him. I mean, pump the brakes on calling this kid a bust. Like, that is the dumbest takes I've ever seen from a lot of stupid football fans. Like, are we judging over 3 games? I get it. His completion percentage was less than 50%. But to be fair, was the offensive line doing their job? I think there were some plays where they actually screwed up. Like Mike McGlinchey, for example. Mike McGlinchey looked like garbage. Jake Brendel, garbage. Like, why the hell are we playing this damn center? He sucks. Cut his ass. I don't even want this guy on our fucking team. Like, why are we being so nice to these journeyman players? Dude, Brendel just sucks. I don't care how many damn times he's been in the league, bro. 6 teams have cut him because he's fucking trash. That's why. He's the weakest link of that offensive line. And it's a joke. We're not even trying to fix that spot. So when I look at the overall grade of the offensive lineman, looking at the Pro Ball Focus or what we were graded at, they say we were ranked number 9. So we were ranked number 9. They say we did a pretty solid job. But there was a couple of weak links at that spot. Jake Brendel and Mike McGlinchey. Who was graded better at that offensive line? You guys are surprised. Spencer Burford was ranked better at that spot. He had an 89-point-something Pro Football Focus grade where he did a really good job on blocking. Like, straight up. Like, the way he blocked, he did a really good job. He made one little mistake. But after that, there was no QB pressures. There was no mistakes. This kid played like a veteran out there. Aaron Banks, he didn't look too bad. He did pretty solid. Of course, Trent Williams, he had his moments, but he's still one of the best at the position. Yeah, definitely. That's just intriguing to look at that way, yeah. But, okay, so when we look at the entire offense of the Niners receivers, we are still, I'm intrigued to look for, we got to definitely look forward to that matchup. But I haven't even got to that. I'm taking my time on figuring out how this matchup favors us. So our running backs. So minus Elijah Mitchell, this running back group is a question mark. Because I don't know what Shanahan's thinking. But if he's going to mix it up with Deebo Samuel, then I don't know how that's going to work for us. Because we need to use our young running backs. We just signed Marlon Mack to our practice squad. So maybe by next week or two, we'll know an idea what's going to happen. But I would like to see Jordan Mason or at least Ty Davis Price get some carries. Because I don't see what Jeff Wilson's doing cutting this, bro. Jeff Wilson may be a really good pass blocker. But he's not a good runner like he used to. Yeah. I'm ready let me know when you're ready because I'll give you theories. All right. I'll see what's up, man. Trying to focus on these matchups, man. I appreciate you guys giving me some crazy questions, especially Grandizer, man. This guy gives me some funny random questions, and I like his energy, even though he's a Dolphins fan. But, dude, you guys catch me off guard, and I'm like figuring, what the hell am I supposed to talk about now? Like, your guys like one of those, like, you know, it's like I have one of those friends that just tell me, hey, what happened to this? And then I'm like, what was I supposed to focus on? But so when we look at the Niners wide receiver, running back. So we look at the running back. I definitely want to see some Ty Davis Price, especially in the goal line. Jordan Mason, let's see what the kid can do. I mean, don't try to use Trey too much as a runner unless we need to get that first down. Then I understand. But have him learn to play smart. That would be my one key issue. give me at least involve two of our other running backs? Because that's just a waste of investment if you're not going to play them. Like, are we giving Ty Davis-Price the Trey Sermon treatment because he didn't even play? And I don't want to hear the excuses about the special teams crap because that's not the case. Last year, you said the same thing about Trey Sermon because you let Elijah play over him because of special teams, and that is bogus. That to me is bogus. Is Ty Davis-Price in the doghouse? Because I think that's what the situation is. Jordan Mason got in because he probably outperformed him. That's probably what it is. And I'm not capping this. This is the same thing we saw last year. And this needs to, like, stop. Like, give the guy a chance to play and see what he can do. So, yeah, let's go on to the wide receivers. Despite the performance against the Bears, Juwan Jennings looked pretty damn good. 4 catches for 63 yards, I believe, or 62. He had a pretty good performance. He looked pretty good. Deebo Samuel, we know he can do it all. Ayuk did pretty okay. Could have got more targets. Ray McLeod looked okay. But can we at least get Danny Gray this week? Can we at least play the kid? Because there's no point of just having him on the freaking inactives. I feel like if you put Danny Gray out there, I feel like this offense is going to be able to move the ball a lot quicker. And we're going to get touchdowns instead of falling up short. Because there was this pass play where Trey Lance threw it to Jennings, and that play alone would have been a touchdown if Danny Gray was in that position. If Danny Gray was in that position, he would have scored that touchdown easily. Because of his 4.3 speed, that dude would have been hard to catch. But Jennings runs a 4.7, so of course he's not that fast. But he's going to give you those yards. So that's where I stand from there. You look at our tight ends. If Kittle does not play, this is a difference maker. This is the effect of our offense. Like, we need Kittle this week, or else we're just average. But that's just like the way we look at it. But when you look at the entire overall, this offense wasn't too bad. It could be better. So maybe as looking at the matchup between the Seahawks defense and the Niners offense, I feel like we have more of a favorable matchup than everybody expects it to be. Yep, that's what I said. That's what I definitely said. But it's necessary, yeah. Yep, that's what I heard. But I think when you look at the overall matchup, I do give the Niners offense more of an edge on Seattle. Like, what is one position that Seattle has the advantage on? I don't even think they have much of an advantage when it comes down to it. Like, their secondaries are very young. Their linebacking core is young. Their defensive line, they're a little underrated. I'll give them that. Seattle's got some solid underrated guys out there. They got Shelby Harris, who's pretty solid. They got the guy from the Chargers, Wilson, whatever his name is. They got some solid players. The linebacker, Jordan Brooks, he looks like a good damn linebacker for them. But the rest of the guys, that Cody Barton guy, Cody Barton's average. Like, he ain't all that, bro. You look at the rest of the secondary, you see Tyreek Woolen is their starter. And I don't know who the rest of the starter is. Like, I think it had Kobe Bryant starting, but then he was benched after 2 snaps. So he gave up a touchdown play. He was benched in favor of Michael Jackson, from what I was told. But when you look at their safety position, it's kind of unproven. This is a more suspect defense, and I just don't see much difference from the previous years. It's like the same crap and same crap. So the Niners offense has more of an advantage. So I definitely give the edge on the 49ers offense because we should be able to capitalize. We should be able to move. We should be able to get those chunks of yards. And looking into the performance, like my prediction forecast, I expect at least Trey Lance to have almost 300 yards. If it's not going to rain, if it's not going to be much of a factor, if it's not going to rain, then Trey should have somewhere in between 270 to 290 yards passing and at least 2 to 3 touchdown passes. And our running game should be a factor. I'm not overlooking Seattle by any means. It's just when you look at the entire defense, Russell Wilson was looking like the old Russell Wilson. He had 360 yards passing and 1 touchdown, 0 picks. I expect Trey Lance to have a closer performance, but just maybe below the 300 yard passing. So I look at the wide receiver matchup, and it gives me an idea. So if they're going to use Deebo Samuel as more of a running back in this situation, I expect Ayuk or Juwan Jennings to be more of an X factor. So I think Ayuk is going to break out this week. I think Ayuk is going to have 120 yards receiving and possibly a touchdown. And then when you look at that, when you look at the matchup, okay, so what do I expect from Juwan Jennings for this game? He had a pretty interesting performance against the Chicago Bears. I don't know how his performance is going to look like, but if I'm a betting man, he's probably not going to have the biggest flashy production. I think he's going to have somewhere in between 2 to 3 catches and a touchdown. That's probably where we're going to use Jennings, is in the red zone. So if I'm looking between a 3 catch, I'm thinking he's getting somewhere between 3 catches for 45 or either 50 yards and a touchdown. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I feel like I would start Jennings over Tyler Lockett because I don't think Geno's going to have enough time in the pocket to find Lockett, and I don't even think the chemistry is there. But it just seems like a favorable matchup. Like, Seattle's defensive line should be able to stop our running game, if I'm being honest, but I don't know if they'll be able to create enough pressure on Trey. I think Trey will be able to escape the pocket. Like, Seattle's going to have their sacks here and there, but I don't think they're going to do enough to stop this kid. So that's where I stand. So when you look at the Seattle's offense overall as a unit, Geno, just your typical game manager, your average Joe, he did a pretty solid job. He did okay. You look at the Seattle's offensive line, not bad. They did pretty solid. The running game, it's solid, average. I mean, Penny was solid, played a really good game. Their tight end did okay. Their receivers didn't have much of a spectacular performance against Denver's defense. I mean, I think Metcalf had like an okay game. Lockett didn't have so much of an impact. That's the way I looked at it. But when you look at the Niners defense overall, the Niners defense actually created a lot of pressure against the Bears. And what Geno Smith is going to face is a defense that actually had a lot of pressure in Chicago with a monsoon. So that might be the more concerning factor for Seattle. Our secondary, Charvarius Ward versus Metcalf or Lockett, one or the other. This matchup is intriguing because Seattle has 2 of the best receivers, and we have one of the most underrated cornerbacks. Mosley doesn't get talked about. He's a physical, feisty cornerback. You look at the safeties, yeah. Seattle's got some celebrities, yeah. Yeah, that's true. But when you look at the Niners linebackers, we do have more of an advantage on stopping the running game. Our defensive line, it's got an advantage against their line too, but who knows? They did hold their own against the Broncos, so we'll see. Our secondary, it should match up pretty favorably. Our safeties, it's a little iffy. Tolino Hufanga played a pretty solid game. Like, he had a really good performance. Just his coverage needs to work. He's got the savviness, and I just think he needs to work on having better assignments on his coverage because there's some busted coverage that he should have been in position to make a play on. But it is what it is. So when you look at the overall matchup, I think what gives Seattle's offense a little favorable is their receivers. Like, if our cornerbacks hold their own against that receiver, then it has to come down to the running game. Because if their running game is not a factor, Seattle's offense is going to be nothing more than a one-dimensional, and Geno's going to be then they're going to have to force Geno to throw some passes, and Geno's he's just not going to be it. You take away the running game, you shut down their wide receivers, and Geno's going to be holding the ball like a deer on the headlights. This defense is going to come after Geno if we take that away. What does Geno do best when there's not much around? He holds on to that ball or he makes stupid mistakes. So that's how I look at it. But when you look at the overall, the Niners special teams looks pretty solid. Seattle special teams, not so much. But when you look at the advantage, this sounds crazy. The Niners defense has more an advantage on Seattle's offense, actually. That's crazy. That it's not bias. Look at the overall performance. You may say, well, Seattle beat Denver. Well, they beat them by 1 point because Denver was stupid. They were boneheaded. They made a decision to kick a 64-yard field goal when their kicker couldn't even kick further than 60 yards. They put the game on their hands on a kicker. So let's not take that away. So the Niners defense just has more of a better advantage. Our special teams is pretty much has more an advantage on them also on their special teams. Coaching wise, this is where I may give the advantage to Seattle because Pete Carroll has been around. Pete Carroll is a genius, but he's not a great play caller. There's a difference. But when it comes to the coaching edge advantage, Pete Carroll just has our number, and it's hard to ignore that. So that's where I'll give the edge because the experience, and he's won a championship, and he's actually knows how to beat us. So Pete Carroll, for whatever reason, you get the advantage for this one. But looking at the overall prediction and the score, are we expecting it to rain this Sunday? I'm hearing two different mix of reviews about it. I'm hearing different mix of reviews that it's not going to rain. Oh, it's going to rain. Like, dude, I don't know what to believe. Like, I'm looking at the forecast and it says this, and then somebody else is agreeing with it, and then somebody else is telling me differently. Like, dude, what am I supposed to believe? Don't come at me if I don't know what's going on, bro. I just don't have an idea what the forecast is because this is what the forecast told me. Blame the freaking forecast apps or whatever the fuck I was looking at. That's all I got to say. So if it's going to be a normal sunny day, I hope it is a normal sunny day because we need that. So if it's a normal weather sunny day, I expect the Niners to score 24 points and the Seahawks will probably just score 13. We're going to make enough pressure on Geno. They're gonna get some points off garbage time, so that's part of where they're gonna get their points at. But if it's a normal rainy day type of game, it's gonna be a low score. You're looking between 14 to 20 game. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be very interesting, but we'll see. I expect Seattle to bring their best game. But they might get too overconfident because they beat the Broncos. They might get too far ahead of themselves. They might just celebrate this week and not even realize they're going to play us. So that's probably what we're going to expect. But as far as the overall prediction, I expect the 49ers to come into Sunday pissed off, and I expect them to dominate them. I expect them to dominate their defense because they gave up like 400 total yards. If not for those turnovers, Seattle's going to give you your yards. It's a bend don't break, but man, just learn how to hold on to the ball. That's all. Don't make mental mistakes. And I think we learned from that mistake. So come this Sunday, the Niners have to, this is a bounce back game. This is a must win. Because if we come into the season 0-2, we're in a deep hole. The NFC West ain't going to be easy to come out of the hole. We have to win out. At least win out or get into a position to where we can get in the playoffs. Because we cannot afford to go 0-2. Seattle, on the other hand, they're supposed to tank, but they forgot who they are. They won a game. They didn't even expect to win the game, and they forgot who they are. We gotta know who we are. We are a team that's contending for the playoffs. We can't afford to lose. We have to win this game. If we lose this game, this is a disaster written all over it. We win this game. We bounce back and we play Denver. So we don't overlook the Seahawks. We don't overlook them. They're going to play hard out there. They're going to play inspiring football, despite what everybody thinks. The media was just overlooking Seattle, thinking that, hey, they're going to be a fourth-place team. I'm guilty as charged. They're not as bad as people think they are because they beat the Broncos, a team that's a playoff contender. But who am I to mistake? The AFC West is loaded this year. The AFC West is one of the most loaded divisions. Like, any of those teams in that division can be a playoff team. It is. You look at the entire team. Like Kansas City, we know how good they are. We know how they are a Super Bowl contender team as long as Mahomes and Reed is still around. I mean, you look at the Chargers, they're very talented. They just need to get their shit together. And then you got the Raiders, who are just like that question mark. Yeah, last year they were in the playoffs. They weren't even expected to be in the playoffs. But the question mark is on Josh McDaniel. Can he really get the job done? This is a really kind of talented roster, if I'm being honest. Then you look at the Broncos, a team that was a quarterback away from maybe making the playoffs. This is a loaded division. So that's what I'm saying. I think the fact that they lost to the Seahawks is a bummer, bro. We cannot let Seattle be on a roll. We cannot do that. And the fact that they're first place, that's a sign of disrespect. We can't allow that. We can't allow them to go 2-0. They're supposed to go for Bryce Young. Did they forget about Bryce Young or CJ Stroud? They're supposed to get those guys. You keep on winning, you're not going to get nothing out of this. Yep. What's up, David? Man, but we got to win this Sunday. So hopefully we get it together and hopefully we just get the job done. Because this Sunday, it is going to be something we have to look forward to. But yeah, we'll definitely discuss it, man. But I agree with Moses. Moses got a solid point. Seattle secondary, it gives you of last year's 49ers secondary. We give up a lot of plays. And there is something about their young cornerbacks. They give up a lot of plays. Yeah, a no choice win is needed. Yep, we have no other choice but to win this Sunday. Yes, we do. And Seattle secondary, they're very young, and they get a lot of penalties too, and they give up some big plays. So what's a better way to expose Tyreek Woolen by getting a speedy receiver who just matches up with the same speed level? You got Danny Gray, who should be able to match up well with Tyreek Woolen. I mean, that would be a good matchup. Tyreek Woolen versus Danny Gray. Danny Gray's got that speed that you can't teach. So we're going to see what happens this Sunday. If Seattle would have just had Jamal Adams, I think their defense would have at least been more competitive. But they don't have him, so that's going to be a problem. Like, when they have a guy like Jamal Adams, bro, this defense plays very close. But ever since that he was out of that game, Seattle gave up some points and got Denver in this game. So I don't expect their defense to be shutting us down for long, because maybe they'll have a couple of shutdown series, and then after that, we're going to be able to move the ball down the field a little bit here and there, and we're going to get points here and there, and we're going to find a way to win this game. So that's how I look at it. But that's pretty much my prediction of what I see. So if we're going by the normal weather circumstances, Niners are going to score 24 points and Seattle scores 13. But if it rains, I say 20-14 Niners. It's just one or the other, man. I don't see no way in hell we're going to lose. I don't see no way in hell we lose to Seattle. And it's not underestimating Seattle, but come on, man. Come on. You really think you guys are going to win games with Geno? And I'm not getting cocky. I'm not overlooking you guys. It's just your defense is still suspect. Even if you make the turnovers, I don't even think your offense does enough to catch up. Like, dude, we can have a 14-0 lead, and if you guys get a turnover off of those yards we got, I don't even think your offense does enough to put you guys in the game. I don't even think you guys do. It has to depend on the penalties. The penalties will have to be a factor for you guys to be in the game, or else you guys are done. That's facts. So I don't see no reason. But as far as the updates, that's pretty much what I got to say. So I am definitely going to end this for today. But for the preview, we're going to see a couple of previews with the other content creators. And then after this, I'm going to do a post game. Not going to be able to do play-by-play, so that's probably not going to be the case. But maybe Monday night I will. Like when we play the Rams, you damn right I'm going to do a play-by-play. But I won't be able to because Sunday I work, and this game on Sunday is going to be 1:05 p.m. So I think I'll probably just be able to watch the game before I go. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah. So you guys have a great day, and as always, go Niners.